You spend 90% of your training without a coach watching you. If you don't train in your uncle's garage, your coach will show you technique, sure, but once sparring starts, it's just you and your training partner, locked in a Tom and Jerry-esque cloud of chaos. When the dust settles, you realize you've been heel hooking yourself the whole time. This is why the best guys in the world have their own coaches. Even a notorious BJJ scholar, the ever-studious Jozef Chen, openly stated that his coach Dima Murovani was a huge help when it came to preparing him for a chance to win $0 at
European trials.
My friend Dima, he really helped me a lot especially with the European trials. Like, he basically wrote me a plan for all of the better guys more notable guys in my division and the ways we can start looking to approach matches.
Guess what? You ain't Jozef Chen, little bro. You're just a freshly minted blue belt who wants to get better. And you probably don't have your own personal Dima following you around. The good news? You don't need a black belt to start taking your progression into your own paws. For the sake of this video, I'd like to distinguish coaches versus trainers. A coach is there to see you from a third person's perspective, analyze your game, set goals for you, and provide instant feedback. A trainer is a person who shows you moves. Unfortunately, a lot of BJJ coaches are just trainers, which is understandable. It's easy to gather everyone in a circle and show them how to do an arm drag. It's hard to properly give detailed feedback and set goals for 25 different people in the room, and this is exactly why you need to become your own coach. Here's the thing, your coach can't fix everything for you. They might catch a glimpse of your role, but they can't track every mistake, hesitation, or weird habit that you build. That's on you. The pros know this already. They have world-class coaches, sure, but they also review their own footage, analyze their game, and build improvement plans for themselves. Becoming your own coach doesn't mean kicking your instructor to the curb. It means taking ownership of your growth, just like Gordon Ryan studies his footage or the way Mikey Musumeci journals his training sessions. This is where it all starts. You have to be aware of what you're doing. Can't fix what you can't see. The ideal and the most awkward way is to buy a tripod off Amazon and set it up in a corner so you can record your own rolls. This works best because you physically see everything you do, so it's very easy to observe your own game. The downside though is that people will think that you're an annoying influencer who runs a cringy Instagram page. If you don't want to, or you can't do that at your gym, the second best option would be to write down how your roll went after class, or ideally after the roll itself. Note where you got stuck, what positions you kept ending up in, when you felt lost or helpless. Write like a scientist, not a critic. This is just for data collection. Write it down as accurately and as unbiasedly as possible. Side note, if you want to be good at this, you need to spaz less in your rolls and lock in on being more chill. The same way a pro would watch his own match after it's done, not to feel pity or beat themselves up, but to see what actually happened. And this is your first step towards becoming your own coach. See clearly before you start fixing anything. Most beginners just show up to class and roll, but the athletes who improve fastest always show up with a plan. I made a whole 10-minute video on deliberate practice that you can find right there, covering exactly how to structure your learning for each session. To summarize that video, you want to enter each training session with a very clear goal or move that you're gonna do. Think about it like a quest in an RPG, but instead of killing 10 wolves, your quest is hit 10 butterfly sweeps. The secret is that it's not about winning rounds, it's about testing your focus area. That's what the pros like John Danaher's athletes do. They go into every session with a specific objective. If you filmed your rolls, this would be 10 times easier, but most of us don't get to do that in a busy class, so the next best thing is to journal after class. Now, You might be thinking, well, how is this different than step number 1? Are you scamming us? To which I say, no. Here is how this differs from step number 1. After class journaling will be more about seeing the big picture and overarching themes. We will be reviewing this data and reflecting on it. In step number 1, we just became aware of what we were doing. Now we want to go deeper and make an action plan. The questions you want to answer in your post-training journal would be broader and more reviewy, like why did that happen? What can I change next time? What's the pattern that I keep repeating? Much like a judge assigned to Didi's case, we're starting to connect the dots, linking data from multiple roles into one to form strategies and seeing where we are weak at and what to work on next. Every role gives you very valuable information, but most people leave that information on the mat. You will find yourself in one of two camps. You either fill an entire page just for one role because you took a lot of Tylenol when you were a kid, or you write down 2 sentences for the whole session. Whatever you prefer, that's on you, as long as it works for you specifically. I take a medium amount of notes usually. I don't like keeping things way too short. I want to jog my memory and replay the role in my mind as much as I can, but not write down every single thing, just the stuff that matters. For example, you can write down something like, kept getting flattened in half guard because I didn't frame fast enough, and for next time I can frame first and then look for an underhook. The simple formula that works really well here is what, why, next. What happened, why it happened, what to try next. After a week or two, read through your notes again. Check if there's an overarching pattern. Maybe you get past the most with under the legs passes, double unders, over unders, etc. Or maybe you failed to finish the rear naked choke a few times. When you see the same issue in multiple sessions, that's not just a bad day. Your back strangles actually suck. Identify those patterns because they tell you what to focus on next. When reviewing the week's notes, you want to ask why a lot. Why did I lose that position? Why did that escape work once but failed the next time? Why do I always end up in side control? Each why will take you deeper down into a rabbit hole. But in that rabbit hole, you'll find a lot of useful information. Remember that you're your own coach, so don't be lazy with this. That's where real growth happens, so do it with intention to see results. Finally, take what you've learned and convert it into a micro goal for your next class. If you noticed you failed to strangle people from the back, you might want to go into a training session with just rear naked choke setups in mind, like arm traps, etc. This way, your reflection becomes a direction for you to go, and every class becomes a part of this feedback loop. That's how pros train. They don't just go to class, they build cycles of observing, reflecting, adjusting, repeating. That's the real engine of progress. Quick recap for step number 3, as it was a pretty large section. Step 3 isn't about remembering what happened. It's about learning from what happened. Review the rounds, write simple notes, find the patterns, and ask why a lot, then set up the goal for your next training session. This is how you coach yourself between classes. Now we know how to be our own coach in Jiu-Jitsu, even if we are just a beginner. 1. Observing without judgment is about collecting data from your roles. Setting micro goals is about giving each class a purpose. Reflecting after class is about recording what worked and what didn't. Using deliberate practice is about diving deep into one area at a time. I mean, even the pros don't have their coaches whispering in their ear every second. They learn how to guide themselves, and you can do it too. So next time you show up to class, don't just train, coach yourself. See what works, test it, review it, and repeat. That's how you turn simple mat time into real progression. And for this week's challenge, record one of your roles or journal about it after class, then identify repeating patterns. This will help you out a lot, trust me. If this video helped you, drop a comment with your training observations. Hit the subscribe button for more videos on training smarter without training harder. Goodbye!